Yeah. So from the Supreme Court to the Court of Appeals to District Court, those are all lifetime appointments, and our entire judicial system is going to be transformed into ultra conservative. Yes.
What does that mean to you, sis? What does that mean to you? And what does that mean to the black man? I know you don't care. Yep, they can play the long game. Brother, they messed it up. They didn't want to be a lady for a high value man. And like I say, these high value men, they want Instagram models. And these regular women right here, they supposed to be fun toys and everything for a man, but they're too busy doing careers. And they're supposed to be making more beautiful people that look like them. It's just all wrong.
And we have the federal branch of the court system and we have the state branch of the court system. If you live in a red state, your state branch is likely already conservative to begin with. Well, ours just became. Yes. We had a Democrat majority and we lost it, and it's now 6-1 Republican. It also, to point out one thing that I thought was really interesting on the New York ballot, at least, and I'm sure it's similar in other places, because we talked about this last time, a lot of judges, because state courts have election, is Joseph Robinette.
I know they're babbling, guys. I'm sorry.
And we come back from the fact that we allowed an 80-year-old man who should have never moved close to the primary. Should have never been on the primary ballot. We moved front and center right.
Ma'am, if you would have got with the black man, we could have voted somebody other than Trump into the primary. Would that have made you happy? Or you wanted a woman in there no matter what? You could have came together with the black man and we could have voted for a different primary on the Republican side, and you won't have to be worried about Trump. Do you think that way? That's why I say black women are sick in the head. They wouldn't have to face Trump. We could have not voted him in for the primary. But you can't do anything alone, sis, because look at the way you thought about it. If you truly hated Trump, we could have not let him even be a candidate. You understand? So you clearly don't know the war that you fight. That's why we don't let women lead war. How they say, can I get a witness? Because this don't make no sense. They could have voted Dr. Jill Stein. Them Republicans had plenty people out there. But they didn't see where the real war was won. They were actually ready to sit back and watch Joe Biden lose. They actually wasn't going to vote for Joe Biden.
And like the writing is on the wall, right? When you look at the history of American presidents, and we want to play this game of like American history, politics at the electoral level, Democrats have been doing bad since JFK. And as soon as they allowed a Nixon to come in and that silent majority proposal to work, rather than taking a hard line in the opposite direction, Democrats have been trying to meet Republicans in the middle in order to get those working class voters back. Which you can't get working class voters back with policies that do not help them. Which Bernie said,
ma'am, do y'all care about black people? Because I don't even understand what y'all talk. Why would you have any of this more focus without the strength of the community to make your words more powerful? It's just the dumbest shit, but they thought they were aligned with the white community. See, that's all this was. That's all this is, man.
Sanders wrote something out. Funny. These past two elections, we're being told who needs to be the primary and who we owe loyalty to this person. It's been much more about loyalty and a lot less about whose policies. Like, oh, we couldn't have Elizabeth Warren because nobody's going to elect a woman, but then we get a black woman in 2024. They beat back Bernie twice. They really have not allowed people to engage at the primary level, honestly, with who the nominees are.
Ma'am, yes, they did. But you were Democrat. You didn't give a fuck what the Republicans were doing. You could have easily switched over. You didn't care. Like I said, truth be told, you were not going to vote for Joe Biden. So Trump was going to win either way. And I didn't know that. I was one of the scared ones.
Have been sold on this idea of loyalty,
which that is breeding more apathy in Democrats and would-be Democrats, because all of the flaws that the Republican Party has, they allowed Donald Trump to run in the primary. People ran against him. What's his name? DeSantis tried himself from Florida. Ted Cruz ran against Jeb Bush. My one happiness was Jeb Bush losing as a child from Florida. And the FBI, I was like, a stupider man beat you, and good for you.
But Republicans really got to choose.
They got to choose who they wanted.
Trump being president was their choice.
That's their guy.
And honestly, it's really more about Joe Biden waiting until, 6 weeks before the DNC.
3 months?
He should have never gone for a second term.
Let me put this one back on the screen. Now that Joseph has been berated.
Y'all hear that? That's what losers sound like, y'all. That's what losing sounds like from the black woman. They're going to talk about Ted Cruz, Governor Newsom, Jill Stein, all these people that they don't give a fuck about. And my question would be to them, which one of them white people you name are different from Donald Trump? That's what I would like to ask them black sisters. Do you think any of those white people are different? Well, no, that's why I'm a Democrat. Oh, so let's talk about why y'all gonna blame Joe. Oh, so this is the order of blame. Joseph, white people, and then Latinas. Yo, these black women are furious, nasty, vile, bile. And I'm talking about bile from Anthony Hopkins.
And he will not care about any consequences to himself. The amount of white men that voted for Trump, I would say in general, is unsurprising, but because they think they're getting something, even though most of them do not have the actual access to wealth to get anything. But a lot of people have been focusing on this is such a large amount of white men without college degrees voting for Trump, which is 69%, in which we talked about a little bit. I just wanted to pull up the stats and you could see it. This is from NBC News. These are the exit polls. It does go also hand in hand into what we've been seeing, which is Republicans attacking higher education and them trying to attack the idea that, college is helpful to people, them trying to say, oh, well, you're not learning anything in college, this, that, and next. I think college is too expensive. I think it should be affordable, but it's definitely a helpful period of time that if you want to go, people should have access to. And it's very easy to see the correlation of them not wanting the people to go to college and then them also bamboozling a whole demographic of young men.
My concern, though, is that this is only going to be 4 years. I don't even think these white men, because of the whole media apparatus that surrounds them, are ever going to know that it's Trump causing their life to suck more. I don't think even if their life gets extensively worse, they're still going to,
Yeah. I don't think people.
I mean, they really not talking about anything, y'all. This shit is crazy. That's an old tactic that didn't work for the 70s feminist movement. And you're black first, my sisters. For black women to put gender first and align with all women doesn't work for black women's for black interests. You don't believe what Sam Welbeck said? Well, listen to this.
The world. I think the biggest misconception about white women is that they are allies to women by default. They're not allies.
I think the biggest misconception about white women is that they are allies to your bald-headed black ass. That's a misconception. Or is it? Because these women they're blaming white women. See? They're blaming white women.
And I found a wild statement that at first even my cynical self didn't want to believe. And then I fact checked it and I was like, oh, wait, this is correct,
Hmm.
which was Donald Trump won the majority of white women voters for the third straight time. The third is what threw me off. I knew when it came to Hillary, they did not choose Hillary Clinton. I did not remember, and honestly, maybe I just didn't even look at it, that also when it came to the 2020 election, Joe Biden versus Trump, white women also, the majority of them voted for Trump in the 2020 election, and for the third time in a row.
So they're just realizing white women voted for Trump. That's why I say, how could we follow you into a war? How could we follow you into a war? You don't even know the outline. You didn't even go do recon. You don't even know what your enemy's dealing with. Why would we follow you into war? It don't make sense. And another thing, y'all, white women, think about, this is why we always, I hate to say this, y'all, this is why we have little respect for the black woman. Because you want to be white more than the black men sell out. You want to be white more than OJ. Because you're more worried about how he put his hands on a woman. And the white women ain't worried about it. So it just goes to show that black woman, you're painfully embarrassing.
Then again,
Sadly, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
sadly, I knew they were going to do that.
I think white women have a similar media apparatus that makes it extraordinarily easy to villainize any other.
Now they knew they were going to do that. And all the black women knew they were going to do that, y'all. Come on, man. We got to be real a little bit out here, right, y'all? If all y'all black women knew they were going to do that, why did you vote Kamala Harris? Why didn't you align with black men and say, hey, black brother, I know the white women are going to align with Trump. What should we do here? But you decided to make your own decisions. See, you could be celebrating right now, sis. Had you got with black men, and black men would have said, well, at the very least, we don't want these migrants because we know not to talk reproductive rights to the black gladiators, so you got to lie. So you got to say, yo, at least we don't want these migrants here because, you know, Martin Luther King and all his ancestors, that's not what they built this country for. So we would try to talk sense into them that way. And they would say, yo, brother, I understand where you're coming from. We got to make sure we take our space back in this country as black folks. But they were not united like that. They could be celebrating right now.
For women, vilify any other woman to white women. Because I think they were being fed messaging that constantly said that Kamala Harris was evil, was not a child of God, and she was against the family.
I think it's more sinister than that because this is their 2006.
Okay, it's more sinister than that. But ma'am, could you believe that there's any truth to that? Are you open-minded? Black social progress after civil rights was disrupted by false feminist promises. The feminist movement promised to uplift black women too, sex, money, and they did, but at the cost of the family. And not only the family, just the whole mindset of the black woman. And like you say, you gotta blame these fathers. They raised a woman to where they don't need no man instead of going out there finding a good husband, or you know how it is when what they do with these Catholic schools, you know, Jack and Jill, where these, you know, they grow up and these families know each other and they could speak for the man or introduce their daughter to a good college graduate or a young man who's running his family's business because they Catholic school people, you know. And just even the fathers that want to put their daughters in basketball and all of that other stuff, you got to go find her a man. But we just got lost the whole way around.
16 gap. So white women, 47% voted for Trump, 45% voted for Hillary. And then you have this year, you have white women, it's grown. 53% voted for Trump versus the 45% of white women that voted for Harris.
Does that make you want to go be with a black man? See, it's nothing that can make them want to be with you. No fucking stats, no numbers, no nothing. Could make them say, yo, I need to go with my men.
Negligible amounts of third party. We didn't talk about it earlier, but to be stated now, the third party amounts are very negligible. The people yelling at the third party voters, find somebody else to yell at because it's not sensible to yell at them. Let the people do what they want and exercise their conscience because it didn't have any effect on anything. With this, I think white women largely, and I'm of the belief, with you kindly pointing in the direction of Tracy McMillan Collins Fick.
Yo, I do got to make an announcement. Sam Welbeck is the sponsor of the show, and I do have another announcement. I think my StreamYard. I think I'm running past the number, so I don't know if it'll cut off or not. I don't know. I've never done it before, but it don't matter. I do have OBS.
And knowing your whites, white women are a set of whites that I know, and white women believe in their deepest core of spirit that they are the exception to any rule. That white men are awful to them, but they're
the ultimate victim as well. Yeah,
always. So
Ma'am, if white women are the ultimate victim, why won't you come back and be with your men? Why is that not an option? You know that they're the ultimate victim of who? Of the almighty whitey. So why don't you go be with yours? Why?
It will vote for Trump and still be like, yeah, maybe he'll ban abortion, but somehow I'm going to get me one. And that's what they chose to do. In droves, 53%.
I think something the data is hiding is that Black women are being radicalized as well. We when we do show out, we're pretty consistent, but a lot of Black women are checking out.
I think that's valid. I have, let me see, do we have it here? 91% of Black women that voted for Harris, and 7% voted for Trump.
Ma'am, you could have voted 100% Black women, you wouldn't have won. Don't you get it? Don't you get it? You lost. You could have voted 100%. You think that 7% means anything? You could have took all your Black woman vote.
But the stats that I didn't pull, to your point, are, I think it's about 10 million Democrats around that number that did not vote, and what percentages of that are Black people.
Rather than yelling at third-party voters, why were we not engaging kindly with disaffected voters?
And I think that would have made more sense.
Man, why don't you answer that question? You were the one promoting Kamala. Why didn't you do it? Now, the only time we like you to be forgetful is when you forget. You pulling your panties down and you forget, and you bend over and you forget, and you say, hey, big boy, come give it to me, and you forget, and you just be loving it, and you just like, that's the type of dumb stuff we talking about. Don't be dumb for some shit that you can't win. They just don't have the numbers. Facts. Look, listen, the numbers are telling them you ain't shit. And that's what the Black man is rejoicing for. Only reason why is because you damn sure don't want to be shit to us. So what are we supposed to do? We will take you back. Come suck these eggplants. No other way. So you know what they say? Well, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to move away. I'm going to do this. I'm going to crawl under a rock. I'm going to just talk as a loser.
I think that was a strategy.
But we were too busy telling people that Palestine was a single ticket issue. We were too busy telling people that we need to focus on economics and not gender reaffirming care, not gay or trans rights, not disability. We are too busy telling disenfranchised groups within our communities that their concerns don't matter, and we distill a lot of people from engaging in voting.
There you have it. I'm educated. I don't deal with uneducated Black men that do have a vote. I make sure I stay away from them because I'm more educated, meaning I'm better, and those people outvoted me. No, they can't. No, they're not smarter than me. They just outvoted me. So that's why I got this face. Come back home, sisters. We'll take you. We're forgiving people. We know that you tried to do it. We're hoping that this finally sits you down. That's what we're hoping. Could you just sit down? You said you're tired. Could you? I got a question for everybody. Got a question. Yo, in a sexual scenario, do you want your black woman to be tired or not tired? What would you rather? I know you'll take it either way, but which one would you rather? Let me get an answer on that. In a sexual scenario, would you rather your woman tired or not tired? And why? Would you want your woman tired or not tired, and why? You know? Because you niggas need to be straightened out. But I got to know some things. Do you want your woman tired or not tired in a sexual scenario? And I guess I'll give you a hint. I'll give you a hint and I'll say, hey, like, what are you getting out of a black woman's vagina if she's not tired? What are you getting? If a black woman is not tired, how does that, what are you getting out of sex from her? If you like a black woman to not be tired when you have sex with her, what are you getting? I prefer her to sit on top sometimes and ride. True. One of my favorites. She won't do that. Very true. Very true. I like that. I like that. Very true. I try to tell brothers. That's one of my key factors. I won't lie. If, you know, it all depends on what I'm dealing with. But for the most part, always make a bitch ride you. Always. Make that bitch work. Never let off the hook. Always make that bitch ride you. You niggas be letting these bitches off the hook. Let that bitch claim tired. Fuck that. At least you know she's really tired. She rode you. You know? Always make a woman ride you. You know, not too big. Yeah, I like that song. Great answer. Great answer. Great answer. Because these brothers, they like back shots and stuff. You're not getting the best out of the woman. You can still get your back shots. Make that bitch ride you. Let her get up there, play lazy, do whatever. Don't be ashamed. Let her get up there if she playing lazy or if she getting busy. Make sure she put some work in. You still could do your back shot. You know? I mean, for the most part, that's the only chance you get to make love to the bitch. You know? Get to hold her, grab her hair, bring her low to you, kiss her on her ears, suck her titties, you know, rub her body, rub her leg. You get to, that's the only real time, you know, unless you're getting on top doing all that. But that means you letting her off the hook. No, let her get on top and earn that. Then when she say you tired, she's tired, you like, okay, I believe you. Khalil, what's good?
Yep. And I think the other part of not checking in with us, because we are as Black women disenfranchised among us, was also the opposite point of that was then the people that wanted to engage, particularly the Black vote, the pathway was like, we're just gonna smack you with it. We're gonna smack you, and we're gonna tell you your ancestors died, so you better get your ass in line. And that's not gonna work.
And I think they're gonna have to start yelling. And they're gonna have to start like reflecting at least an attempt for policies down ballot that they can directly speak to as Democrat policies that would be positive influences on people's lives.
Ma'am, did you vote for Kamala Harris? Yes, I did. What the hell are you talking about? Whoa. Platypus said, I make sure she worked that throat. I like it. I like it. I like it. You know? That's one of the things that piss black men off too. You bitches twerking in the air, doing all this shit. Bitch, you ain't really throwing down. I mean, it's ridiculous.
And I think also we deserve something. Black women have overwhelmingly shown, 92% is the highest percentage of anybody, that we are willing to put aside our needs for the greater good over and over again. At a certain point.
Here we go, telling on herself again. Did y'all hear the thing that black women put their needs with other people? So the black men and the black boys of the community, they make sure that they tell you, we didn't put y'all with our needs. Listen.
So